Hi, I want to address waste and plastic and the pledges. So when you do Pledge 2, you're invited to take the opportunity to buy 2 locally sourced and seasonal meals a week. Now, to be able to achieve that pledge and to be able to do that, you would probably be going to the market and you will probably be taking your own bags, and packaging will already be something that you will be minimising because you won't be buying mass produced, well-travelled stock. So to be able to actually embark on doing that 2 meals a week, which is really important, because the importance is actually getting people to shift to think about just doing that. So the wording is important because it's simple. Pledging to go and buy 2 locally sourced seasonal meals a week. It's quite a big ask for a lot of people, but a natural selection from that will be that they won't be creating so much waste. When you ask people to do this, after a little while, and the research has shown that they do start to think about growing their own, that they do start to think about why they might be a little bit more expensive sometimes, and that might be, the person will say, oh, because of the drought and we had to get more water to grow those potatoes, for example. So people start to think, and some of them started to move on to become vegan once a week. Some of them moved on to do some gardening themselves and growing their own vegetables. But these things have far-reaching and long repercussions from actually doing the pledge. So doing a pledge that says just cut out plastic is a waste of a pledge out of 10, because this is something that will naturally be thought about. A lot of them actually do address waste. And as far as plastic is concerned, a lot of people are talking about it. You don't want people to dismiss this opportunity. The point of the pledges is for people to embark on cutting emissions, which is key and vital to what we're doing right now. A lot of people put up a lot of excuses and put up a lot of barriers, and that's understandable and that's a natural thing to do. But we have to push past those barriers and move on. And a perfect example about being vegan, the other day somebody said to me, why don't you say become vegan for Pledge 2 as opposed to what we already say? And I explained to them when we were meeting in a restaurant, which was actually a steakhouse, who would have the most success if you went and asked all these people to become vegan, and I asked them all to pledge to buy 2 locally sourced meals a week, Feel Good Factor, helping the local economy, seasonal, which cuts down on things like when people have food problems and food intolerances and food allergies, but also it's a sweeter, lovely thing, and we can buy locally because we don't have to buy imported. And it was pretty clear who would win the race. So please think about these things. The important point of the pledges is that they are simple, easy tasks to do. And if you add too much and too much wording, you're creating a rod for your own back, and it's an easy thing to dismiss. There are a lot of people out there that are not doing all of them. So even if they're doing 1 or 2, it's easy for them to say, oh, I'm doing 1 or 2 of those, that's it, dismissed. But actually there's a lot of other carbon cutting things. For example, the driving one. Not a lot of people have known that electric cars have been really affordable for the last 2.5 years. But now some of the subsidies have dropped away and they might not be so affordable, but they have been. And if they'd done that pledge a few years ago or a couple of years ago, they would have realised that and found out. There is an alternative side to that pledge. You can have a driving lesson which helps to be able to drive in a greener way, and it saves so much money. So avoid all the barriers, avoid all the opportunities to think, how can we do this better? A lot of work's gone into them. They've been successful. The key point about the success is whether you are prepared to do them, and whether you are prepared to show people, tell people how you got on, even if it isn't brilliant. That's really important. Even if when you switched to green electricity, it was a 20-minute phone call, 20 minutes, so that people can breathe in the future, isn't a lot to give up. Maybe somebody will say, oh, I'm in a contract. So great, what date does that contract finish? Let's put a date in your diary a month before to explore which companies. So many people are telling me wonderful stories about how they switched and they got £50 for their friend and they got £50 and they're saving money. Let's stop putting the barriers in front. We also don't recommend which electricity company because it changes, but you embark on the journey yourself. Now, please do enjoy getting on with cutting emissions, and that's for everyone. That is the point of the pledges. We all can cut emissions and we all need to look to ourselves and avoid the barriers. Let's get cracking. Thank you very much.